Dr. Lenny Klaver is the president of North Central Missouri College, and we welcome him here. Start of your fourth year. 3 years ago, you inherited a certain situation, but you've had a lot of progress and success since then. Can you kind of recap that for us?
Well, yeah, it has been a whirlwind of 3 years. I started my fourth year back in May. I'd followed Dr. Neil Nuttall, who had done a lot of really good things here, but also the school was ready to launch an enrollment growth agenda. That was one of the reasons I was hired, and we've been very successful through our strategic plan, accomplishing that, as well as some other initiatives we've had on student success and academic excellence and so forth. We're also a community college that is very big in our community, so we've established some new community relationships. And in general, we've been on a good roll.
You talked about a variety of things there, the strategic planning, the relationships, all that. What is the role of a president?
Well, the president is sort of not just a figurehead, but the person who orchestrates basically the direction of the college. Now, you have to be familiar with what faculty and staff do, what students are like, the trends that exist, in order to create the ability to acquire the funding you need to operate. And as a community college, our funding comes from three sources basically. Tuition and fees, which here it's almost 70%. State allocated money, which is about 25%. We have 3%, actually less than 3% that comes from our local tax base now, and another 1 to 2% that comes from gifts and grants. So we almost operate like a private college with a 30% discount. So a lot of my job is to generate revenue, whether that's through enrollment, through lobbying our legislators for more state money, federal grants, as well as fundraising. So a lot of my role is external as well as internal, but we're a small enough place I can have good relationships with the faculty, staff, and students, and I like to have an open door policy. I like to walk around campus. So in general, this is a situation I think we can manage quite well. And like I said, with the good work of a lot of other people and following the initiatives on the strategic plan, we've been successful, and I'm very proud of the people who have made that happen.
Back to the role of the president, are you more of a quarterback or a coach?
Gosh, I would say back in the day when they had player coaches, maybe a quarterback coach. I would say more of the coach, though. I have cabinet level people who are the quarterbacks of their areas. In Dr. Tristan Landre, who is the Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Tristan Alley, who is the Vice President for Student Services, Tyson Otto, who is our Chief Business Officer, Vice President for Business Services, Jennifer Triplett, who is our Chief Information Officer, and of course Christy Harris, who is my Chief of Staff. That's what comprises our cabinet. They are the quarterbacks and the coordinators, I would say, of their areas. It's my job to collaborate with them and make sure we're all headed in the same direction.
On this campus, though, it seems like relationships, and you mentioned it earlier, relationships are a big deal, including those relationships with the people that work for you.
That's absolutely true. I mean, it couldn't be more important in today's society with the ability to communicate with people that has sort of waned with cell phones and computers and texting and emailing, that you maintain good interpersonal communication relationships. Now, that's not only true with our board members and cabinet level, but with the faculty and staff and students. You know, I love talking to students. They're what really, I think, keeps me motivated. As well, if you're in the president's position, you're involved in a lot of community and regional organizations. You work with the legislators. A lot of my time is spent down in Jefferson City or with my colleagues from the MCCA. And it all comes down to relationship building and sustainability and your communication skills.
You mentioned the legislature. You do spend a lot of time with them. Why is that important?
Well, because of that element of state funding, and not only that, the policies of the Missouri Department of Higher Education. It has to do with accreditation somewhat, but as state funds have dwindled in just about every state, probably almost all states, the ability to continue to get adequate funding is important. But that occurs through the relationships that we all build with our constituents. Now, the Missouri Community College Association encompasses the entire state, and our 12 regions cover all of our legislators. So I have those in our 16-county region here in north central Missouri, Senator Hageman, and then several state representatives. Now, I also work with our U.S. senators and representatives as well. Sam Graves is a U.S. rep in this area. Roy Blunt is a senator from Kansas City, and Josh Hawley now down in St. Louis. But in the state of being of federal funding, whether that's Pell Grants or if you're seeking federal grant money, it's important to have relationships with them as well.
Can you have an influence on that as a single person from a single institution?
I believe you can if you meet the agenda that they have.
Right.
If part of their agenda is economic growth, if it's an environmental issue, whatever it might be, if you are working with a federal legislator on an issue or an area that they're on a committee with, Senator Blunt's been very influential in extending Pell Grant into the summer. It's very important to him. It's very important to our students with the high financial needs. So if you have to really match what you're looking for with what they do, or in the instances of grant seeking, getting to know the staffers of the legislators who can lead you in the right direction of funding from the various federal agencies.
Yeah. A couple of times you've mentioned the word building, and not literally, but I'm going to take you to a literal level here because the campus changes, and you've made some changes here in terms of what it looks like. Can you talk about that a little bit and what the plan is going forward?
Sure. I was fortunate to come in toward the tail end of the renovation of Geiger Hall that Dr. Nuttall played an extremely important role in. My job was just to clean up the loose ends and watch the construction finish while I did, and we had about 3 months to open the building, and we did in the fall. Very, very nice, state-of-the-art academic building now. That with about $6 million of renovation money, that building is like brand new. The so-called bones of the building are great. If we were to build a new one, it probably would have cost us $30 million. But we have all smart classrooms in there. We have the Learning Center in there, which brought the library, Student Success Services, and the Academic Resource Center together. So we've also have the advantage of a very good health sciences and nursing facility in Cross Hall that is not that old. And the Barton Farm campus is very important. Now what we've done recently is to buy 8 or 9 properties around the campus as we look to transition out of our old residence halls into building some new. And as well, we really don't have a true student center. Right now our dining hall is in the basement of one of the residence halls. Our bookstore is a separate facility, and the students don't really have one large place to congregate. So we're looking, in addition to building a series of residence halls, near that a student center which would have the dining hall, the campus shop, bookstore, and also a commons space for the students. And that would be something that our students have really lobbied for, and one of the things that I'm going to be trying very hard to do in the next year or two.
I've heard it said that you can tell a successful college because they always have some construction going on at all times, and that's kind of where you are right now.
Well, right now it's been more destruction than construction, but it's been nice to see some of those old buildings torn down and their green space right now. It has opened up the space of the entire campus. So hopefully very soon we'll see some construction after we've had the demolition and renovation of those lots.
The Geiger Hall project done, looks great. Ketchum Center looks great. There are so many places on campus that look very nice.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. The Ketchum Center has gone under its own renovation with new bleachers, new deco, so to speak, in there. We've also, within the last 2 years, have almost all new fitness and weight equipment in there. And it's a place where we not only hold our indoor athletic events for men's and women's basketball, it's practice space, as well as a community fitness center. In addition, Holiday Hoops, our large high school basketball tournament, takes place in late December and early January, where we have games going from 9 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night for almost a 2-week period. So it's very important not only to be the host of that site up here in the rural confines of northern Missouri, but also the fact that it's a great recruiting tool. If you talk to a lot of our students on campus and you ask them, did you play in Holiday Hoops? And they'll just, if they played basketball in high school, it's inevitably a yes.
So much of this is laid by the groundwork of enrollment, and your enrollment figures have been very good during the time you've been here.
Well, it was time. It was time to focus on that, and we have, my goal was to expand our base to a greater number of counties. We've been pretty much concentric to 5 counties over the year around Grundy County. Well, we have a 16 county region, service region. We need to extend. So we have enhanced our admissions staff, done some new things with advising, and we're covering a lot more ground right now. And we are finding the results not only in terms of traditional students, but non-traditional students as well. We also have a very strong dual credit program with high schools in the area. So I think through just a new approach to admissions, and which has been really very simple, we've gone with the mantras that we recruit one student at a time, and we give them uncommon attention. So when a student is contacted by someone from us, or they inquire here, or they have a campus visit, or they go to a college fair, we want them and their parents to feel like the most important person in the room. And our people are really good at doing that. And again, the results have been favorable. Again, as you said, it goes back to the element of building relationships. And our admissions crew under the leadership of Christy Cross has been outstanding at that. In fact, Christy was our Employee of the Year last year.
Okay. Popular media talks a great deal about the cost of education. And how does North Central fit into that and provide a quality education?
Well, we are still the best deal around. In addition to low affordable tuition, we have the statewide A+ program. If you meet certain criteria, that you can basically attend here for free tuition if you continue to meet those criteria as well. So we have a lot of our students who are very good students from our regional high schools that can come here and not have debt before they transfer on to a 4-year college or university, or they simply just want a 2-year degree that's more of the career technical type education degree. Actually, last spring, our graduating class, 61% of that class received career technical education degrees, and that included about a vast majority of our nurses and allied health people, as well as our ag students and some industrial technology students.
You've mentioned a couple of times success, different levels, different people. What is success to you when it comes to college education?
Well, I think success is moving the institution forward, but ultimately the success is the educational attainment by the students. And the fact that we've worked very hard to have our faculty and staff know that that's our undercurrent, is student success. But to keep it affordable, to balance our budgets every year, we've done a great job over the years of being in financially good condition as a college. But student success and their ability to have impact after that success by a successful transfer to a 4-year school, or to get a job when you have completed your 2-year degree here. So that's success. I would also include success is having a good campus climate and culture on campus. And we've also done some new things in that area. Well, I think we approach it as a team approach to North Central Missouri College. And not that other presidents and leaders on this campus haven't, but we've done a few new things, and they've been successful, as well as building on the things that my predecessors have done before me.
Number one thing you like about North Central Missouri College?
Again, I would say it's the relationships we have. I love interacting with people. I don't know if I'm necessarily a real social being, but I do like to talk to people. I like to listen to people very much. But to know that we're doing something important and in the lives of other people. So that many of these can have students, even our faculty and staff, have an opportunity that they wouldn't have elsewhere but for North Central Missouri College.
Dr. Lenny Klaver has been our guest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.